Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Moed Katan, page 26, which discusses when it comes to rending a garment, kriya, which of course is something which could be quite costly for an individual. So the Talmud tells us the following scenario. If a person already has a ripped garment, that individual should not go in front of the dead, because people are going to be given the impression that you actually ripped this garment because of that person. And the fact that you didn't, the Talmud considers it as a form of gezela, as a form of stealing, even though, of course, this is your garment. But the fact that you didn't rip a garment for this individual, and instead you're giving everyone the impression that you did, this is something which is heavily frowned upon. The Talmud here also tells us the incredible sensitivity one must have. Even though it is true that when a person's relative dies, there are, as we've been seeing throughout the many pages, numerous laws and customs that one is supposed to do. However, the Talmud tells us something quite unbelievable, that if you have a chola, someone who is sick, and you know shemes lomes, one of their close relatives died, and here you are, let's say, visiting that person who is not feeling well, probably quite sick in a hospital. So what should you do? Should you inform them that their relative died, and therefore that they are in the status of avelos? So on this, the Talmud says, Ein moedin oiso shemes. We absolutely do not do that. We will not tell this person, because after all, shemet tarv daito olav. By doing that, what do you think is going to happen? That individual is going to feel very bad, and not only will that person feel bad, as this person already is in a compromised state of health, it's very possible that by you giving this horrible, terrible news about one of their close, loving relatives that had just died, it could have devastating effects. And therefore, the Talmud says one is not allowed to do that. Also, as a person sees someone who died, you're supposed to rend a garment. The Talmud says, Ve'in mikarin b'fanav. You're not supposed to rip in front of them, which means not only does it mean if you found out, let's say this was also one of your relatives that died, that you shouldn't rip, but if you look upon someone who is sick in a hospital and maybe they're at their dying moments and you rend a garment, you're probably giving them the impression that they do not have much time left. And by doing that, they will lose hope. It's important when a person goes and visits the sick that you will make their spirits better, never worse.